It seems simple in the moment, but like it is making your life harder. And I know that's hard to hear. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela and I really just want you to enjoy your life as a mom. So I talk about all kinds of mom stuff and toddler stuff and my faith and vlogging, things that I enjoy so that you can hopefully enjoy them too. Are you homemaking on hard mode? I see a lot of people, mostly online, just doing things the hard way and I don't understand why. So I just wanted to talk through some of my habits in my home that really simplify things and help me to spend more time resting, more time with my kids, enjoying my life instead of feeling like I'm a slave to my home. So I kind of put off filming this video because it would be better if I filmed it like all around my house and got a bunch of cute B-roll and let you actually see what I'm talking about, but I just don't have the capacity for that. And you are probably also busy, so you can just throw this on, listen to it like a podcast while you're washing your dishes or whatever. Hopefully either you can relate to something I'm saying or maybe you will learn something new and it will bless you. So first of all, let's talk about laundry for a second. People are still out there folding their laundry. Okay, sorry, I need to be careful. I have this fine line when I really love how I do something. I quickly get judgmental to other people who do it differently. If we were like sitting face to face having a conversation, I wouldn't be that way, right? We would just talk about your laundry and my laundry and like whatever. You're a real person. But when I'm thinking hypothetically, I get quickly judgmental. So I'm gonna try not to do that. But that's the beauty of our lives, right? You can do it your way, I can do it my way. And as long as you love your way, then it doesn't really matter what I say. So anyways, laundry. You know there's no rule that says you have to fold your laundry, right? You can just put it where it goes, and if you can find it and you're happy with that, then that's great. I knew from the beginning of having kids, and even before that, I did this with my husband and I knew I didn't want to fold a bunch of like shirts and whatever all the time. So we actually have cube storage. So what I mean, if you Google IKEA Calyx, you'll know what I mean. That's what my husband and I have. It's like big cubes. They just have bins in them, and for shirts and stuff, we just throw it in there. For my kids, they have the same system, but smaller. So we got them from Canadian Tire here, but I'll link something similar on Amazon. Smaller cubes because of course their clothes are smaller. We just sort things. Each kid has their own shelf, and then they have like shirts, pants, sweaters, underwear, summer clothes, I don't know, whatever they have. We sort it accordingly. And then I save truly hours of my life by not folding laundry. And another thing I realized a little while ago, people are also spending a lot of time sorting laundry. Like, you know, you see all those reels, people are like, oh, tackling week's worth of laundry, whatever. It's this giant heap of what looks like everyone in their household's clothes. And I'm just confused by that because we just have a laundry hamper in every single room, and I will do each room's laundry in one load and then just put it away in that person's room or closet or whatever. My husband and I, we do have like separate laundry hampers just because he has dirty work stuff. I do my laundry separate from his, but then I have a basket of just all my clothes that I can just put right in my bins. All his clothes go right in his bins. My kids share a room, so their clothes are together, but that's a quick like sort and put away. It takes honestly minutes every week. The other thing is socks, kids' socks. I don't actually understand why they make socks in every color and pattern imaginable. We did that for a little while, and then I realized I was spending what felt like half my life matching up tiny socks. So now I got rid of all of those random socks, and I just bought on Amazon a couple packs of plain black socks that fit all three of my kids right now. And I don't keep them in their closets either. I keep them in a bin by the door, and I just put them back there every time I wash them. Honestly, I don't make my kids wear socks at home, so when we're leaving the house, then I just grab 2 socks for each person and put them on them, and we're on our way. So if you hate doing laundry, try making some of those changes, and I promise you, you just won't hate it. I don't even really think about laundry. It's just not really something that takes up time in my life. We are a family of 5 right now, so I'm doing laundry for 5 of us, but it's just not something that takes up time in my life because we've simplified it to actually work for us instead of me just being a slave to piles of perfectly folded laundry. Anyways, whenever I say this, I get like one of two responses. People are either like, wow, that's great, like I always end up throwing it in the dresser anyways, or people are like, oh, I could never do that, like it needs to be folded perfectly. And if that's you, fine, just count the cost. You're gonna have to let something else go, most likely. Number two is cooking. Are people out there actually cooking every single day? And like, do you cook at like 4 p.m.? Because I just cannot handle that. Even the other day, I wasn't even cooking dinner. Like I ordered a rotisserie chicken, but I was throwing together a salad and some fried potatoes. And I was doing that at, like after my husband got home. It was like 5 o'clock or whatever. And I was like, this is so stressful and chaotic. Like this is why I don't cook at 5 p.m. Those things are optional, cooking every day and cooking after 5 p.m. We eat home cooked meals every day. I do not cook every day. I'm taking advantage of having a small family while we still do. All 3 of our kids eat solids. My baby, my 8-month-old, he actually probably eats the most, which is kind of crazy. But while we only have 3 small children eating our dinners with us, I'm taking advantage of that. I just make a giant batch of whatever I'm making and then we eat it for 2 days, especially in the winter. This is the perfect time to try this out if you want to try a new system for cooking. I'll make a big pot of chili or a big shepherd's pie. I'll make enchiladas or whatever, a big thing of it. And then usually that can feed us for 2 meals. Or what I'll do sometimes, because something like enchiladas, you might not want to fully heat it up and bake it twice in a row. So I'll put it in 2 separate dishes and then just put one in the fridge for the next night. We don't mind eating the same thing twice in a row. So that's what I do to save on cooking. It's important to me that we are saving money and also eating healthier by eating a lot of things made from scratch, but only cooking every other day like that, it gives me the capacity to do things like bake bread or make our breakfasts from scratch or make certain condiments. I have the capacity to do that because I'm not trying to cook a full-on meal every day. So that is also optional, just in case you didn't know. And then also feeding kids and babies, like we truly just put food in front of them, and if they don't eat it, like whatever. My husband gets more stressed out than I do. He'll be like trying to make them eat their food. I don't really care. Like I'm gonna eat my food. They will eat if they're hungry. If they're not, they won't. We don't give them a ton of sugary snacks and stuff. I try not to give them snacks right before dinner. It makes a big difference. We've also always exposed them to garlic and flavor and stuff like that. They've never been babies that eat really bland food. When it comes to cleaning your home, tidying the toys, doing the dishes, whatever, I think it's important to have an enough point, is what I call it in my head. And that means, like, at the end of the day, I want my home to be at a certain standard. I want it to be ready for the next day. I want the kitchen to be clean. I want the dishwasher to be either running or already finished and unloaded and ready for the next day. I like for the toys to be picked up. That's not an everyday thing in my mind, but throughout the day, I don't care if there are dishes in the sink. I just want the tables, like the surfaces, to be clear. I don't care if there are toys out. I just want it to be, you know, only the set few number of toys that I've chosen for that week. I think it's important to know your enough point. I used to be one of those people, I couldn't relax if I had a dirty sink. Like I would just be thinking about how I wasn't doing the dishes the whole time. But now I'm able to actually relax even if there are dishes in the sink, because I know the time to do it is coming later that day. And I have really clear in my head blocks of time that I do those things. So during the day, it doesn't bother me if it's a mess. Another thing, I know I'm gonna get pushback for this, but if you are spending a lot of time on screens, that might be making your life harder. Whether that's if you're spending a ton of time on screens, on like social media, and believing that you don't have time for certain things. Like I guess I'm talking specifically to stay-at-home moms, because that is my experience. I find that there's a lot of time in a day. I don't use social media, so I have a ton of free time. Or if you are letting your kids watch a ton of TV and then you wonder why they're hyper and stuff, like it is one of those things. I don't know if you've heard the phrase, hard now, easy later, easy now, hard later. Screens are one of those things. Like if you're letting your kids watch TV, it seems simple in the moment, but like it is making your life harder. And I know that's hard to hear. Like even a year ago, my kids were watching a lot of screens, and then we cold turkey. I have another video about this, but like we cold turkey just got rid of our TV when we moved into a new house. And it's honestly been the best change we've ever made, both for my husband and I, and like our relationship, and then also for the kids. And then the other thing, you might be making your life harder by feeding your kids a ton of sugary snacks, both in the way that like then they're not eating the wonderful home cooked meals that you're making them, and their food affects their behavior. Like you can tell me otherwise if you want to, but that's fine. I believe what I believe. Their food affects their behavior. You know, snacks, they might seem easy now, but they are going to make your life harder later. So those are ways that you might be homemaking on hard mode. And I would love to hear your thoughts. If you agree with any of these, if you think I'm completely out to lunch, if you think I'm a slob for not folding my laundry, just like let me know. Thanks for watching. And if you want to stick around here, definitely hit subscribe and send this video to someone that you think it might bless.